Hi, Dad. Welcome back to another episode of Dave and Andy's Honest About Life. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Andy. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Great to see you.
Good. Good to see you.
So this session, which we'll keep short, is the one about people who know you know that you are a meteorologist, and a fascination with weather is always who you have been, always what you have had, a great interest in weather. But if you were not a meteorologist and you didn't go to school to study that, what would you have done? What would you have been?
That's a very good question. I was very fortunate to be able to um, do weather, find a place that I could study weather. And, my home is in Minnesota, but I went to Florida State. That's where I graduated to get my meteorology degree. But, I love the sciences. And as you know, you and I used to love hunting for turtles and salamanders. And I think if I had no opportunity to do the weather, which was in my blood. I loved weather and I loved everything about it. So I can't even, it's hard to imagine doing anything else. I did it for 43 and a half years. But after I think about it for a while, I really had fun looking for critters. And we came, you and I walked through the deserts in the southwestern part of the country and got many different varieties. There's so many varieties of animals out there that we don't even know about. And I'm that piques my interest too. I love watching, and you've done it awesome. You've done an awesome job of raising turtles and raising, from eggs. Where they would have probably been attacked by skunks or whatever, dig up eggs. You saved them and you created something that is fascinating. And that's, I guess that's what I would have done. I would have done something like that. I think of the turtle sanctuaries, the sea turtle sanctuaries. How much fun would that be?
Yeah.
And watching those little critters walk across the beach and out into the ocean, and who knows, what's going to happen to them. But those kind of things I've really been fascinated with.
And meaningful too. That would have, it is meaningful for those folks who do spend time, supporting, those animals who are endangered or threatened in some way. Turtles happen to be obviously very cute. So when they come out of the nest and they're, walking and scrambling across the sand, I mean, what a, obviously very emotional, but what a rewarding thing to do. And for those who decide that's what I want to do, and they know that early, I mean, what a wonderful thing.
That's yeah, and just you and I just doing the little things that we did felt very rewarding too. And when you think of, I've got a rescue puppy. I've just had it for a couple of weeks, but you know, it was probably going to be euthanized if or whatever. The animals, that's what happens if they don't get somebody to adopt them. So I adopted this cute little puppy, and I should bring it out here. One of these episodes, I'll bring my
You will,
puppy out.
you should.
But it's just those kind of things. You think about how these animals don't have a second chance. They don't. A lot of times they don't get that chance, and I think it is rewarding, as you said, to help them, and especially when they're helpless.
Yeah, and they don't have a say in the matter, right?
Correct. Yeah.
We've been charged with giving them the best life that we can give them, and that they deserve. And so I appreciate what you're doing, Dad, and caring for that puppy that you got. And
You've
so
seen
that
pictures of it.
you should. You should bring
I'm
up.
going to leave that as a tease that
You
one of
should.
these episodes I'm going to have my puppy with me.
And I know it is a super cute puppy, and it gets to the whole, buying puppies in a pet store versus second chance rescues and humane societies and stuff. It's like a never ending challenge that we have to get a handle on at some point because
Right.
you
And
know
that's one of the things that they do well. These rescue places say you got to get spayed, neutered as soon as they can. I mean, that you have to sign a contract saying that, yes, they are going to be spayed or neutered so that we can kind of reduce that population.
I think, yeah. Well, that's a good place. And I think about before we end the session, I really appreciate those times that we spent together, out in the woods or out in the desert, looking for these critters, and we really, it's interesting when you can find someone that really enjoys the same sort of things you enjoy, and at that level, that is a really special, significant time, and I want that for everybody, is
I
to
know.
find someone who enjoys what you do, and you can spend time with that person. And then the other side of that is, look, if it's a passion of yours, let's hope you can pursue it, and and hopefully it'll give you a lifestyle that you're hoping for. And I think
That's the one thing I really appreciate about being a young parent. Um, is the fact that you and I kind of grew up together, and I grew as you grew, and we had so much in common. I mean, it was unbelievable how you liked the same thing that I like to do. So we just had a great times together.
we did. So let's end it there. But one thing that we could talk about in the future, Dad, is how the parents influence what the kids like. So was I born with an interest in,
I like
reptiles?
to think you were. I like to think you were, but I see what you're saying, so we can go into that.
Talk about that sometime. But Dad, in the meantime, I love you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, pal. I love these.
I do too. I do too. I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, bye.
See you later, buddy.